All right. Shalom, shalom, Israel. Shalom, shalom. See, we got a couple of folks in class already. If y'all can hear me all right, let me get a one in the chat. If y'all can hear me all right. Let's see. Mm-mm-mm. All right. Shalom. If y'all can hear me all right, let me get a one in the chat. If y'all can hear me okay, all right. I'd appreciate it. And if I'm just talking and my mouth is just moving, y'all let me know. All right. I got a one. So I'm assuming everybody can hear me. All right. Shalom. Okay. All right. The water. The water. All right. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Command of General Hanna. Started out of 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York. And we are not associated with any, Salaki, are not affiliated with any other Israelite group or any other Christian organization. All right. This is the Lashawan Qadash class, one of the several classes that we teach over the course of the week. All right. Monday, you have your history class. Tuesday, you have the brotherhood class. Wednesday, you have the scripture breakdown class, Captain Natazak Shah. Any questions that you have, anything that you may have wanted to ask and may have been told by the Christian church that you shouldn't question God and so on and so forth. Any question that you have about the scriptures, you can definitely ask in any class, but the scripture breakdown class is definitely the purpose for that class. And the leader, the head of the Virginia camp, is who teaches that class. So that's definitely one you want to make sure you tune it into and ask some questions in. All right. And then we have the Friday night class, which is the Lashawan Qadash class, where we get into the actual Hebrew, teaching the ancient and the Paleo Hebrew, selected the ancient and the Syrian Hebrew. The importance of it is that if you are attending these classes and you understand that you are the ethnic, one of the 12 tribes of Israel, the ethnic so called Jews, the ethnic Israelites um, of the Bible. All right. So, with that knowledge, there comes some responsibility, one of which, well, the major of which is following the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Getting in the ISUPK, which is the home of the truth. If you are not in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, you are not in the truth. All right. But also, what comes with that is knowing, learning how to speak and read the Hebrew, which is our ancient tongue. That's our original tongue. We speak English if you are in North America, predominantly because we are in captivity. We are a conquered people here, and we speak the language of our oppressors. All right. If we had never been in this captivity, or never been, if we had followed the law, statutes, and commandments that we were supposed to from the beginning, Hebrew would be our language. It would be what we speak, just like the high holy or the holy convocation days. Those celebrations that are in the Bible would have been what we only knew. All right. So we have the feast of dedication or Hanukkah coming up. We have Purim after that. Passover after that. You have your other Feast of First Fruits days, Feast of Unleavened Bread. We have all of these different days that if we had followed the law, statutes, and commandments like we were supposed to, we would never have been in a situation, in this situation, where we are oppressed. We celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving and Halloween and Easter and birthdays and uh, um, uh, all of these so-called holidays, which is nothing but idol worship. It's just the worship of another god, right? And so we have to get out of that. As the Bible says, we need to come out of her meaning this wicked kingdom. We need to separate ourselves. We are supposed to be a holy people, which means separate. And part of that is learning our original language and our original tongue. All right. So that is the purpose and the importance of the Lashawan Qadash class. If you ever see a so-called Chinese person or a so-called East Indian person or so-called Italian person or German or whatever, and they don't speak their language, we would look at that as strange, as weird, as obviously Rashomon says. That's weird. Don't be weird. Learn your language. Um, so often, once we understand our identities and we understand who we are, we wake up to the truth. The scriptures is one of the primary things that we want to learn. We want to learn everything about the truth of the scriptures, which we absolutely should. That is absolutely Tawab to have that type of a strong zeal to learn the breakdown, to learn the true understanding, to learn the precepts, to learn the truth of the Bible. Because most of us, if we are coming out of some other belief system, particularly Christianity, we have been taught an absolute lie. And so the zeal to know the truth of the scriptures is a wonderful thing. It's a wild thing. But sometimes we get caught up in wanting to know all the breakdown of the scriptures and not being interested as much in learning to read and speak the Lashawan Qadash, or the Hebrew. Lashawan Qadash means holy tongue. All right. And so often, sometimes we get all in the scriptures. We want to know every breakdown. But when it comes to learning, the alphabet and the conjugation and being able to read it, that's something that sometimes goes, we don't have as much zeal for. And that's something that we need to make sure we are fighting against. That's a demon in and of itself. We need to make sure we're fighting against that, being diligent, being persistent, and practicing. These things only come, we learn through practice, we learn through repetition, right? So this is why we need to make sure we're in this Lashawan Qadash class every Friday night, so we can learn our culture. We can continue to learn our culture, all right? Continue to speak the language, okay? So that is why we need to make sure we're in these classes. So the water for everybody that's in here already, all right? We got a few folks in here. Let me give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shem, Shalom, Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shabbat. To the sisters, Shalom, Yahweh Shamar Alathan by Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. Let's see who we got in here so far. Right now we got obviously Yagadal, my brother. That's my dude right there. Yeah, I'm right. The water brother, Shalom. All right, we got Chuba Kazaki in the building. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. That's my brother too. Shalom, brother. All right. And my red rye in the building. All right. I think look like we got a few more folks in here. All right. Make sure everybody is checking in with your name, city, and state, so you can get credit for your attendance. All right. All right. Let's see. Okay. With that, we're just going to jump right in. We're going to get into the alphabet, a little bit of conjugation, and then we're going to try to see if we can get into the phonetics of the Assyrian as it's laid out in the Blue Letter Bible. All right, so we're gonna get into all of that tonight. We're gonna start right now with the alphabet. Let's see. All right. All right, we're starting right with the alphabet. That is your ah. All right, your ah. You have your ah. Slovakia. We're doing a little something over here. You have your ah in the ancient, and you have your ah. Slovakia, the ancient is on the left, and you have your ah and the Assyrian on the right. All right. And I always say the ancient came a lot easier, a lot quicker to me. Um, and I attribute that to the way the characters themselves are laid out. All right. They just seem, obviously, that looks like a sideways A, right? That's easy to see as we, a sideways so-called English A. And what we'll see is a lot of these, especially in the ancient, a lot of these characters were copied and stolen from our language, the most ancient, the first language, and you'll see a lot of that as it represents in English. So that's another reason why, because that is the language of our captors, but that becomes something that is easy to transition. Now the Assyrian is a little bit more challenging, a little bit more challenging. It's a little more nuanced, right? But as we go through it, you'll see the slight differences. Okay, so that is your ah. Again, you have your ancient on the left and your Assyrian on the right. All right. Next uh, next you have your ba. All right. Your ba. That is the ancient on your left and the Assyrian on the right. Now, I know, some of us have, this is not our first Lashawan Qadash class, but again, repetition is key. Make sure we're writing them down, going over these letters, going over the pronunciation. And as we get into some of the conjugation and the way some of these, not some of these, but the way the scriptures are laid out, we're going to get into a lot of that. And if there's any specific words that anybody wants to know, um, type them in the chat and we'll make sure we try to get to them. And if I don't have them, if I can't access them right now, I will make sure I get them before the next class. I feel pretty confident that most of what anybody may ask we'll be able to find. All right. So if anybody has any specific words they want to know, what the Hebrew is and the pronunciation and the spelling of that, just make sure you put it in the chat. All right. But that is your ba. Again, that's your ancient on the left and your Assyrian on the right. Next, you have your Ga. You have your Ga. Again, that's the ancient on the left and the Assyrian on the right. That's your Ga. All right. Next, you have your Da. It's your Da. Again, that's the ancient on the left, the Assyrian on the right. And as we always explain, this y'all can see it pretty good. This is the shield of King David, right? This is not the Star of David. This is the shield of King David. And that shield, King David's name in the Hebrew is just Dawadah. Dawadah. All right. So the shield of David was basically his insignia. You think about back in so-called medieval times, whenever you wrote a letter, especially if you were a king or so, you there was a stamp, there was an insignia that might be melted in wax or something like that that would seal either a letter or some kind of communication, letting everyone know that that was your official communication. All right, and the shield of David is just two das, one inverted and both connected. So it's da wa da. All right. But that's again important to know when people ask this, is this the Star of David? No, it's not. It's the shield of David. It's just King David's insignia. All right. But that is da. Again, your ancient on the left and your Assyrian on the right. All right. Next, you have your ha. Your ha. That is the ancient on the left and the Assyrian on the right. And you will find with your ha, there are several letters, again, going back to what we were saying before, um, The ancient tends to come easier for most brothers. It definitely came easier for me. The Assyrian was more challenging because several of the letters look very, very similar. All right. You will see that the ha looks similar to the ha and the tha. We will point out the subtle differences, which is why it's important to make sure you're being repetitious and writing them down so you can write them down and remember how they're different. All right. But you see, you have your if you look at, I want to explain it that way. Sure. If you look at, we'll go back to the da real quick. If you look at that da, the ha in the Assyrian, if you go back to the ha, basically that da with the little. See if I can bring my cursor up. If I can see that with that little line right there, but it's disconnected. That's going to become very important when we compare it to the other letters. All right, but that's your ha. All right. Let's see. Next we have. Next you have your wa. Your wa. All right. That's the ancient on the left and the Assyrian on the right. The wa still gives me challenges sometimes because of how it's shaped in the ancient. I want to say ya all the time, and that's absolutely wrong. All right. That is not a ya. That's a wa. That's a wa. And again, you will see some similarities in the wa and the na, especially the na that comes at the end of a word. But again, it's important to get practice writing it, to get practice reading it, so you can recognize the differences. And we'll go over them tonight. All right. But that is your wa. Again, the ancient on the left, the Assyrian on the right. Next, you have your za. Your za. And again, this is why uh, the ancient tends to come quicker to a lot of brothers. That makes perfect sense. That za in the ancient just looks like a Z. It just looks like a Z. But that Assyrian is definitely different. It's something that we need to get familiar with. But that is your za. Again, your ancient on the left and your Assyrian on the right. All right. This is your cha. Your cha. Now, as you can tell, again, let me go back. I'm gonna compare that to the ha, just so you can get the perspective, right? That's your ha, and when you say that, you wanna be like you're scratching the back of your throat. It's not a ka, which is a harder sound. This is a ha. All right, that's how that's pronounced. But you can tell, or you can see again, as I compare it when specifically the Assyrian to the ha, you can see how you have your gap here, right? But then when you go back to your ha, it's connected. All right. Subtle differences that, as we practice and practice, whether it be writing or reading, these subtle differences you'll start to recognize and pick up on. All right. But that is your ha. And again, you want to pronounce that like you're scratching the back of your throat. And it's not a hard sound. It is a softer sound that's compared to the ka itself. All right. All right. This is your ta. Ta. That is a harder, T sound. Ta. You have your ancient on the left and your Assyrian on the right. And as you can see with the ancient, kind of like a cross with a circle around it, right? Or an X with a circle around it, I should say. But that's a ta. All right. Okay. Sister Aisha in the building. Yahweh Shema Thumba Shem Yahweh Shai, sis. Good to see you. All right, that's your ta. Next is your ya. Your ya. All right. Again, that's the ancient on the left and the Assyrian on the right. Now that Assyrian almost put you put it in the mind of almost like a comma, not a comma, an apostrophe. That's where it should be. Again, if you look at something like the wa, I'm gonna compare it, right? Very similar, but that wa, you can see how the Assyrian it extends longer, right? The ya kind of hangs up there in the air, all right? And again, that's your ancient on the left, your Assyrian on the right. Yeah. Next, you have your ka, ka. That is a harder sound, ka, right? You have your ancient on the left. You have your Assyrian on the right. You can see, as we always point out, there are two versions of the Assyrian. The one in the upper right is the ka that you will find in the middle or the beginning of a word. The ka at the end is what you will find. Oh, Salaki. The ka at the bottom right is what you will find at the end of a word. And again, these are the subtleties that we have to make sure we're studying this so we recognize, because that ka at the end looks a lot like your Assyrian da. You can tell this curves a little bit more here, but also when it's at the end of the word, that ka elongates further down. If you were looking at, writing this on a line like we write, if you have, I believe Officer Yagabash spoke about it last week. If you have your more basic paper with the lines and the dotted line in between, your da is going to stop on that line, on that bottom line. Your ka is going to extend down further. So subtle differences, but ones that matter, especially as we get into reading the Lashawan Qadash. All right. So again, that's your ka, your ancient on the left, your Assyrian on the right. The upper right is the what you would find at the beginning or the middle of a word. The lower right is how you would see the ka at the end of a word. Matter of fact, let me point this out too, because that ka, that Assyrian ka in the upper right, this one here, for me, I used to, and still do sometimes, to be candid with you. Sometimes, as I'm going through reading, I get it confused with the ba. It looks To me, it looks similar. I don't know about anybody else. It looks very, very similar to me. All right. So that's something. But again, if you look at it, this ba kind of curves and there's a very straight line at the bottom. All right. Whereas your ka kind of curves all the way through. So again, for me, it was subtle, but it was something that I had to be very, very mindful of, and still have to be very, very mindful of. All right. Next, you have your la. Your la, and again, the ancient comes very, very easy because this oppressor and the whole world copied so much, stole so much from our culture. The la looks like an L. It looks like an L that we're very used to. The Assyrian is different. All right, so it's something that we need to make sure we're uh, being mindful of, remembering, practicing, so like repeating, so we can commit these things to memory. All right. Again, that is your the ancient law on your left and the Assyrian on your right. And I'm going to continue to say it. Make sure you are taking your notes, writing these things down. Um, these things will not come to us without practice, practice and repetition. All right. So just make sure we're doing that, and we're keeping up with it. All right. I'm going to give y'all a couple of seconds to write these down as we're going through them. All right. Next, you have your ma. Your ma. Again, that is the ancient on the left, the Assyrian on the right, the upper right is the ma that you will see at the beginning or the middle of a letter of a word. The ma in the lower right is what you will see at the end of a word. All right, there's your ma. You can see they're somewhat similar, but you have a break in the character here where you don't have it here. Somewhat similar, but again, important to recognize the differences. Important to recognize the differences. Next is your na. Your na. Your ancient on the left, Assyrian on the right. There's the na that you will find at the beginning or in the middle of a word, and this is your na at the end of a word. Again, as you can see, this na is very similar to the wa. Very similar to the wa. But again, that wa, if you think about your dotted line, your uh, writing paper that has your top line, bottom line, line in the middle, or dotted line in the middle, the wa is going to stop at the bottom line. The wa is going to stop at the bottom line. The na is going to extend past the bottom line. So when you're reading, and we're going to get into some of it tonight, you'll see those differences. All right. So that's your na. Again, your ancient on the left, your Assyrian on the right. The upper right is your na, as you'll see it in the middle or the beginning of a word. The lower right is what you'll see at the end of a word. Next is your sa. Your sa. Ancient on the left, Assyrian on the right. Your sa. All right. Next you have your I. I. As you can tell, let me see, the ancient is on the left. That is meant, again, our language was pictographic at one point. So that is supposed to represent your eyeball, it's your eye. Uh, and if you think about it, there is no I sound. There's no I sound in the Hebrew. It's all I. All right. Again, that was me. That was something that when I would see it, that was I wanted. Sometimes I want to say it. It's not. It's I. All right. It's always I. And this is your Assyrian. Okay. I. This is your Pa. This is your Pa. You have your ancient on the left, your Syrian on the right. Your upper right is the Pa that you'll find at the beginning or the middle of a word. The lower right is the Pa that you'll find at the end of a word. All right. This is your Pa. This is your Tazah. Tazah. All right. This is your ancient on the left, your Syrian on your right. Your Syrian Upper right is what you'll find at the beginning or the end, middle of a word. Your lower right is what you will find at the end of a word. And as you can see, the tazah that you will find, uh, the tazah that you'll find at the beginning or middle of a word looks very similar to that I, or at least it did to me. It does to me. So it's something that we just have to be very, very mindful of. It comes with repetition. Comes with repetition. The more you see it, the more you get used to it, the more you'll get. Okay, that's the I. That's the tazah. Right? It just comes with practice. All right. Our Rev says, which do we prefer to write between the two versions? Can we toggle between the two within a word or a sentence? And why is there a difference? Okay, so I'm not going to say there's a preference for as far as writing is concerned, but what does happen is um, when we're reading the scriptures in the Hebrew, you're not really going to see that in the ancient. Typically, you're going to see that in the Assyrian. All right, that's a good question. You're going to see it in the Assyrian. We don't really toggle between the two. Meaning, if you're going to write or read in the ancient, that's typically what you're going to do. You're not going to combine the different ancient um, an ancient letter with an Assyrian letter in the same word. You're just going to stick to whichever one it is. All right, that's a good question. And why is there a difference? I'm going to make sure I ask, obviously, Arash. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, when we were in the Assyrian captivity, we created the Assyrian as a way to continue to use our language because we could not use the ancient. So we had to create another version, if you will, of our Hebrew tongue so we could continue to speak and communicate with each other in our native tongue. And that actually is a great, great point, great question that you asked. With everything going on, listen, this world, I just saw a headline earlier today that said America is closer and closer to World War III, which is what Commander General Yohana and the ISUPK have been talking about since 1969. They've been prophesying that it's going to happen. And the closer we get to it, the more and more and more important it becomes to know the Hebrew language. We have brothers and sisters in this school that don't speak English because they're not under this primary oppressor the way we are. We have brothers and sisters who speak Spanish, who speak Portuguese, who speak all different dialects of their oppressors, right? And because of that, we have a language barrier between the 12 tribes of Israel. We have a strong language barrier between the 12 tribes of Israel. The Lashawan Qadash is so important because it allows us a means to communicate with each other, even though there's a language barrier in the first language we learn, right? Because if brothers are coming up here from as Issachar comes up from Mexico, or Judahites go down into Mexico, we're going to have a language barrier. But if we're in the ISUPK and we're learning the Lashawan Qadash, then that breaks down some of that communication where we can just speak in Hebrew, right? The more we learn it, the better we get versed at it, then the better we are at actually communicating and being the nation that's not desired, right? That gathers itself together. And I'm paraphrasing Zephaniah 2:1, obviously. All right. Officer Yagadash said, damn right, been over 46 attacks on U.S. bases in the last 2 weeks. Exactly. Exactly. He's absolutely right. And the U.S. is, let me bring that down. The United States, two primary adversaries is Russia and China, and they have I don't want to say that they're allied. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know they have a relationship, and that's this wicked kingdom's two primary adversaries. You take that in addition to the fact that the United States is in debt to China for I don't know how many trillions of dollars. The United States is about to experience a horrible, horrible reality. When this third world war comes, The United States is not going to be in a good space. They're not going to be in a good space. And if you, as a so-called Black, Latino, and Native American, are not coming out of her, as it says in Revelation, if you're not getting yourself into this body, into the ISUPK and the Commander General Yohana, you are going to suffer the same fate as America does. It's so important to get in this body, put your brick in, and get the work in, and learn your heritage, which is what the Lashawan Qadash is. All right. Actually, Yagadah said, Khan, I never thought about that the Hebrew will be a great mediator between the languages. Exactly. That's exactly what it is, and that's a great way to put it. We are so scattered. We are so dispersed and not together. The Lashawan Qadash, the Hebrew language, is going to be the only thing that allows us to communicate in an effective manner. But that's why it's so important to learn. Because listen, when the chariots come and when the Third World War hits, if you're gonna be out here communicating to yourself. If somebody doesn't speak English, most of us, especially Judites in North America, are gonna be scarred. But think about it like this: let's say you are out there, you run up on an Issachar right brother, and you throw out there, Shalom, how about Shem, and he says it back. Oh, you know who you're dealing with there. You know who you're dealing with. You know that's your brother. But if we don't have that, we are going to be totally out here, completely by ourselves, not in the body, and subject to all everything that this country is deserves and is going to get. All right. So let's get back to these. Get back to these letters. Right. All right. Again, that's your Tazah. That's your ancient on the left, and your Assyrian on the right. Next, you have your Qua. Your Qua. It's your ancient on the left, and your Assyrian on the right. That's your Qua. All right. This is your Ra. Your Ra. Ancient on the left, the Assyrian on the right. That's your Ra. All right. This is your Shah. This is your Shah. Again, this is one that does not, it looks like an English W. It just does. But again, this was one that is fairly easy. Once you understand that that's a Shah, they're both essentially, they're kind of very similar. The characters are. So that's your Shah. Ancient on the left, Syrian on the right. All right. And lastly, you have your Tha. Tha. All right. That's your ancient on the left, your Syrian on the right. And again, between your Tha and your Ha and your Ka, Lakia. Ha, these three letters look very similar. At least they did to me. So this is your Ha. Again, you have your gap right there. This is your Ha, which is connected. And this is your Tha, which is also connected. But you see it as you get down, it kind of jets out to the left a little bit. Very subtle, different. But that's the difference. So those are the things that we need to be very mindful of, as we are trying to read the Lashawan Qadash, as we're trying to write it. Those are the subtleties that matter, that are the difference in the letters. All right. All right. So now we're gonna get into quickly. We're gonna try to get into some prefixes and suffixes. And again, if there's any words that anybody has been thinking of, they want to know how to say in the Hebrew, put it in the chat, and we'll make sure we get them in a second. All right. So prefixes, we're going to start with our la. We're going to start with our la. In addition to being a letter in and of itself, it can also be a prefix. All right. Oxyagada said love and hate. All right, we're going to get to those. All right, we're going to get to those. All right, so your la, it's like that's not what I was saying. In addition to being letters, right, that form words, our letters also can represent prefixes and suffixes. All right. So prefixes, again, they're clearly attached to the beginning of words, right? Your la means two or four. And we'll get into some of the scripture tonight, and you'll understand the importance of knowing the root word. Root words are very important because if you know the root word, you can then identify whether the root word has a prefix or a suffix. Obviously, if you don't know what the root word is, you think it's all the same thing. It all means the same thing, and that can affect your pronunciation. But we'll get into it. It's very, very important. So your la means two or four. Your ka means like or as. Ka, like or as. All right. Next, you have your sha. Your sha as a prefix means who, which, cause, or sake. Who, which, cause, or sake. That's your sha. Your ma, that's next. Your ma means from. Your ma means from. We go over these every class just to make sure we're writing them down, make sure we're familiar with them. And that way, when we get into some of the conjugation later, we're going to be pulling on this information. So it's very, very important. Your ma means from. All right. Next, you have your ya. Your ya means he. It means he. Your ya. Your ya means he. Next, you have your ha. Means thee. Thee. Next is your ba. It means in. Ba means in. Your wa. Wa means and. Wa means and. Again, if you think about what we were saying about the shield of David, it's da wa da. It's a D and a D. Da wa da. but that wa is there and it's pronounced. It means and. All right. Then you have your ah, which means I or I am. All right. Those are generally your prefixes. Again, they're attached to the beginning of words. All right. I'm gonna keep going. Hopefully, if anybody needs, I don't think we're going too fast, but if I am, let me know. Let me know. All right. If I'm taking them down too fast and I haven't had a chance to write them, just let me know in the chat. All right. Now we're going to go to our possessive pronouns, our object pronouns. These are found at the end of typically at the end of verbs. All right, at the end of verbs, so like the or nouns. But you'll get what I mean. All right. We're going to start off with ya. A ya at the end of the word means my or me. My or me. That's at the end of a word. Ma. Salakia. See, I'm messing up. Ya means my at the end of a word. My or me. All right, your ka at the end of a word means you or your. And again, your ka in the ancient is always going to be the same. But as a possessive pronoun or an object pronoun, it's only going to be this one because it's going to be found at the end of a word. All right? It's going to be found at the end of a word. Next, you have your wa. Remember, this is at the end of a word. Your wa means his. Wa is his when it's at the end of a word. Next is your ha. Ha. That means hers or she in Salakia. The wa, which was his, is his or he. All right. The ha is hers or she. All right. I'm going to put this on here right. And the next one, I can do this right. Let's see. Yes. Next is nawa. Nawa. That means our. Nawa. And as you can see, this is actually in the correct order because Hebrew is read and written from right to left. So it's Nawa, just as it appears here. And again, if you were writing it, it would be your in Assyrian, it would be your upper right na and your wa, because that would be at the beginning. And of course, the wa does not change. So that's Nawa. It means ours or us. All right. Next is your com. Com. That's your ka and your ma together. So it will be your upper right ka and your lower right ma. Com. Com. I'm Salaki. I didn't say wait a minute. That means Salaki. That means you all. And that's the masculine form of you all. All right. So again, you use your masculine form when there is any man in the group that you are speaking with or speaking to. So if you are saying, it's you all's house and you're talking to all, well, hold on, let's get to the next one. The next one would be con with an N. Con. Again, you would use your upper right ka, your lower right na, because it's at the end. So that's con. This is you all or y'all in the feminine sense. So again, if there was a group of people and it's all women, and you saying this is your house, you would use con. But if there's a man involved, a man in that group, all it takes is one, then you use the masculine form. All right. If there's all men, you obviously use a masculine form. You only use the feminine form when it's only females in the group that you're speaking to. All right. Next is your ma. Your ma meaning their or them, like their house. It's not y'all's house, it's their house, right? That's also the masculine form, ma, of their. And somebody might have guessed, the na is the same. It's their or them. It's just the feminine form. All right. That's the feminine form. All right. So let's get into, let's see. Officer Yagandar said love and hate. All right. Lucky. Bear with me. Let's see. Let me do this a different way. I told y'all before, I love this concordance. See if I can get y'all. There it is. And it keeps going in and out. There it is, the exhaustive concordance. So nice. Not coming up. Anyway, it's a nice size book. I like using it. It makes me feel like you know, you can also use the Blue Letter Bible, but you gotta leaf through that a little bit more. This one works more like an actual dictionary. All right. So you can actually just look up the word, alphabetically. We'll go to love first. All right. Bear with me. Let's see. We'll go to love. There it is. Different words, but 157 is a consistent one. All right. And that's the thing, too, we have to always remember. And this is why this book is very important and very useful. Um, our words, the way we speak as so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, we can have one word and it means several different things, right? So when you go into this concordance, you can look up the word love and it'll show you every iteration that's in the Bible and the scripture to go along with it. All right. So, but to get a general one, looking at it briefly, 157 and 160. I have affection for is 157. Ahab, right? 160 is Ahava. All right. 157. All right. So if we go to Psalms 31 and 23, I believe. Psalms 31 and 23. Let me take this down. Okay. All right. And this is how you can use, I'm going to share this now. This is how you can use the interlinear. So Psalms 31 and 23. This, this is addressing love first. It says, "Oh, love the Lord, all ye saints." Right? So you can go into, once you look it up in the Blue Letter Bible, you can go into it and obviously you can see down here, there's the Hebrew. All right? I believe if we scroll down, yes. If we scroll down, we get the word love. That's Strong's 157, which is what I looked up here. All right. So this is the root word. Now, what? Obviously, Yagadar. I want you to, if you could, type in both. I want you to give me the phonetics for the root word, which is on the bottom, and the actual word that's in the scripture. So the way the Blue Letter Bible works, this is the word that's found in the scripture. This is the root word. Again, it becomes very important for us to know the root word and the one in the scripture for pronunciation purposes, and so we get some perspective on what it's saying. All right. So let's see. Or anybody else who wants to type it in. What? This is a a ha, and a ba. What do we think that is phonetically? And how would that sound? Type out how it would sound. Absolutely. Give up to Yagadar hand. Ahab. Ahab. Now give me the phonetics for the one that's on top. That's a ha, a ba, and a wa. Anybody else wants to give it a shot? That's fine too. I'm right. You're also Yagadahan. Ahabwa, his love. Exactly. Exactly. And that's the breakdown. That's why it's so important to know what the root words are so we can actually get the meaning of what's being said. That is absolutely right. All right. All right. Now we're gonna do the same thing with hate. All right. 30. All right. All right. Genesis 29:31. All right. We're gonna go to Genesis 29:31 for that specific word. All right, as we can see in Genesis 29:31, it says, and when the Lord, like when the Most High saw that Leah was hated, right? So there's the word hate. He opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. So we click on it, and scroll down on the interlinear, see the word hated. All right, and so that's Strong's 8130. This is the root word. So we're gonna do the same thing. This is the root word. That's a sha, a na, and a ah. And then you have one that's in the scriptures, which is the sha, a na, a ha, a ah, and a nope. A sha, a na, a wa, a ah, and a ha. I'm gonna ask the same thing. Give it to me phonetically, the root word, and then as it's presented in the scripture. Absolutely con, shana ah. When we think about the one that's in the actual scriptures, and anybody can give it a shot. All right, we got another word. Who wants to give that other one a shot? Oh, let's see. All right. I'm gonna say not quite. Not quite. Shama. Okay. So what we have here is a sha, a na, a wa, a ah, and a ha. That's not a fa. All right. That's not a fa. I believe that's what you got on the end of there. Officer Yagadar. So that would be shana wa ah. Shana, shana, shana wa ah. Right. Shana wa ah. All right. So close. But again, I think the biggest difference you have that you have a thigh on the end. That's a ah and a ha. So that last ha on the end of that ah, it doesn't get um, as strong as a pronunciation, if you will. Shanawa ah, shanawa ah, right? It's real subtle because it wouldn't be shanawa ha. I don't believe. Um, right, shanawa ah, you got it right there. Shanawa ah, right, right. Damn brother hand, damn right. All right, now the sister asked, or Rib asked about the word forgive. Back this up. Forgive. Oh, forgive. Forgive. I'll put it in and type it in here, and I want you, sister, give me the phonetic pronunciation. Pronunciation of it. All right. So we're gonna go. All right. So let me stop that. Oops. What am I doing? Wait a minute. All right. And we're gonna share. We're gonna share. We're gonna share this. All right. Okay. So right here, you don't see my mouse yet. I think I see my mouse. So again, from right to left, that's a sa, a la, and a ha. So what do we think the phonetic pronunciation of the word forgive is? And anybody else who wants to give it a shot, feel free. All right. Let's see. Let's see. I got one answer. Let's see if Sister Rise gonna get it. Doing too much on the screen over here. All right. All right. It was close. You were close. All right. Not quite. Not Salah, right? The Officer Yagadar hand. Salah. Salah. That is to forgive or to excuse. Salach. So now, Salach. All right. So who wants to tell me how you would say, um, how would you say forgive us? And this is a group of um, mixed. You got men and women. You saying forgive us? Who wants to give that a shot? All right. Now again, we went over this. I'll give y'all a little bit of hint. These are so-called suffixes. Right. These are possessive pronouns and object pronouns. So if salak is the root word, then how would you say forgive us? You have men and women in the group, and you're saying, forgive us. Ah, all right. So I'm not gonna put. I see you. I'm not gonna put your hands up yet. I'm not gonna put your hands up yet, cause you're like 99% there. But I need you to just look at every single letter. What? No, I need you to look at every single letter you got there. You're very close. This Rye is very close. She's got all the letters there. She's got them all there. All right. Let's see. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Give Sister Rye. Salaknawa. Give Officer Yagadan a hand. Salaknawa. That's forgive us. Forgive us. Salaknawa. All right. Now, let's see. So we're gonna put nah. Salakia. We will put the na and the wa. All right. So that is Salaknawa. That's right. It's good time fast. No sweat. No sweat. You got it. That's what counts. That's what's up. All right. Now, so that's Salaknawa. Now, I want. Let me see. That's not what I want to do. Space. All right. Now this one, I want. I'm gonna type this out. Officer Yagada, I'm gonna ask you to just hold off a little bit, just a few seconds to give because I know you're gonna know this answer. All right. So hold on if you could, just a few seconds as I type this other one in because I want to see if some other folks can get it phonetically. All right. The water. All right. So all right. Uh-oh. Okay. So we know. Move it up a little bit. All right. So we know the first part of this is Salachnawa. Salachnawa. So I want who can try to sound this second part out. There's a ba, a ba, a qua, a sha, and a ha. She is, right? Give her a hand. Damn right. Damn right, Officer Young. Now she's doing the thing. Let's see. There's a ba, a qua, a sha, and a ha. Right, right. Exactly. That's how I knew you was gonna know. Okay, give Sister Aya a hand. Let me see. I'm not sure if she got it, but listen, she damn sure in the ballpark. Let me see what she got. She got to, okay. Wait a minute. We got to slow down when I typing a little bit still, because it's still Salak now. All right, so we got to slow down a little bit there. No sweat. Let me see what you got in the second one. You got Baba. Gosh, wow, you are very close. All right, very close. Absolutely. I was young, that's a 99%. Damn right. See, almost there. No sweat. She said my mind it sounds right. No sweat. No sweat. All right. That is Baba Kwasha. Baba Kwasha. Baba Kwasha. Now, when that ha is on the end like that, you almost, I mean, I don't know. Very rarely will you pronounce that ha. So it wouldn't be Baba Kwashaha. You're very rarely going to see that. It's Baba Kwasha. Right. Right. This is right. I said Baba Kwasha, not Kasha, because that's a little bit different. All right, but I get you in the building. But yes, absolutely. You've heard me say that. So now, Baba Kwasha. So think about what we're saying, right? This is Salak Nawa Baba Kwasha. I want to see if anybody can guess what Baba Kwasha means again. Officer Yagada, I would appreciate if you hold off just a little bit, because I know you know the answer. Damn right. Just give her a few seconds. What? Let me see. Think about what. Okay, so Salachnawa means forgive us. Think Baba Kusha. What could that mean? And don't overthink it. Um, just think about what word might go along with asking for forgiveness, asking to be excused. So la'a. Okay. Your sister said. My rib said, forgive them men, forgive them male. So la'a. If it was forgive them male, it wouldn't be salak nawa. All right. Yep. Now I'm gonna ask this one. If it wouldn't be salak nawa, because now we're going back to that word. It wouldn't be salak nawa. What would it be? Officer Yagna, please feel free to chime in on this one. If it was forgive them that are men, the masculine form, what would the word salak read like? It wouldn't be salak nawa at that point. Yes, but I need you to say the whole word. I need you to say the whole word, sis. I want to make sure we're there. But you right there. There you go. Salachma. That would be forgive them, male. All right. But that's just one word. Okay. So we're gonna go back. What we're looking at is salachnawa. Baba Kusha. So salachnawa, we know we're saying forgive us. That's what we're saying. That's the first word. What's the second word? What's the second word? Don't overthink it. Just um think about how you would speak if uh, you're just being polite and using manners. That's all. Let's see. All right. No sweat. Sister says sorry. Well, that's the same as salak now. You're saying sorry. All right. Officer Yakadar, you got it. Okay. Okay. Officer Yakadar got a point. He said, "How would you teach your little ones to say it?" Well, and okay, think about it like this: it's not necessarily sorry. It's, I mean, it is, but it's think forgive me or excuse me. There's a word that's kind of missing if you wanted to say that and be very I don't know, genuine with it. Maybe that's the word I'm trying to get to. Sister, she's just making stuff up. No sweat. No sweat. No sweat. No sweat. Sister outside. Okay, cool. That's not it either, but no sweat. No sweat. All right. Oh, you said it's all right. For the second time, either Officer Yakadar, I'm gonna give him a couple more seconds. I know you know where it is. Right? And when it happens, you're gonna be like, oh, that makes sense. Let's see if Officer Yakadar gonna chime in for it. And so, Lockie, if I could, like right now, we got several people in class. I can see. I don't see a whole lot of folks checking in. Make sure y'all check in with your name, city, and state. We can make sure we get y'all for attendance. All right. Oh, Officer Yakadar, go. He's trying to get you there. He didn't give you the answer. Here you go. Here you go. Blank and thank you. Blank and thank you. It don't get no clearer than that. He give you all the cliff notes. As Officer Nice, I mean, it's like if Captain Nice like the shot likes to say, I'm trying to give you the answer. I'm trying to give you the answer. I think she might be about to get it. I think she might be about to get it. Okay, wait a minute. It's like y'all. I don't know if y'all can hear her. She is in the room with me. She's participating in the chat, which is what I need her to do. So if y'all can hear, it's like she said, "Please and thank you." Now that is absolutely right, given what he said. But the answer, okay, Baba Kushai. Let's just cut all this out. Baba Kushai just means please. It just means please. It don't mean please and thank you. It just means please. So what Officer Yakida was trying to get you to see was the blank, not the whole phrase. So Salah Nawa Baba Kwasha means forgive us, please. That's what it means. That's it. All right. The water Officer Yakida. This is a team effort. Damn right. Damn right. All right. All right. All right. Let's see. Let me stop sharing that real quick. All right. We're gonna go to. Let's see how much time we got left. We got a little bit of time left. All right. We're gonna go to Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, which is something that we need to learn for holy days and holy convocation days and things like that. Damn right. Since it says the water officer, y'all can die yet. Damn right, officer, y'all can die. So we all we got. Damn right. This is a group effort, damn it. Damn right. All right. So here we go. We're gonna do something different. Let's see. We're gonna do something different. All right. The first word in This is the first word in the 23rd. And oh man, I'm hitting too many buttons here. And Leviticus 23 and 1. All right. And again, we're going to try to get the phonetics of it. We want to get the phonetics of it. Now, once we get the phonetics of it, then we'll talk about what it means. All right. So that is a wa, a ya, a da, a ba, and a ra. Lock it. What is yes and no? Please don't ask me. All right. Okay, I have to ask you because I know you know these answers. All right, I have to. All right. So I think I'm understanding what you're asking. You're asking what is yes, what is the word yes, and what is the word no. So listen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anybody can chime in, but I know you know this. And as soon as somebody chime in, they're gonna be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, okay, all right." What does that mean? Sister said, "Con." What does that mean? Tell me what it means. Since you asked, you tell me what it means. It's rough on a Friday sometimes. I know. I get it. Probably been a long week. You gotta remember all the. Okay, you are absolutely right. Con means yes. Okay. All right. So now we're talking about no. It's obviously your roster. So well, goddamn. I understand. So come on. What's no? Uh oh. Taking on longer than I anticipate. I feel like I need a Jeopardy clock music going. I'm hoping there's a delay here with the stream yard or something. Okay, there we go. Yes, con. It is That is no. Good night. About to get me demoted out here, girl. All right. So anyway, we're going to get back to so yes, con is yes, la is no. All right. Okay. So going back here, this is the first word in the 23rd chapter of Leviticus, the first verse. That is a wa, a ya, a da, a ba, and a ra. So who wants to give it a shot at how you would pronounce that? All right. Which I use them, but I just wanted to make sure. No sweat, no sweat, no sweat. You now you know that you know. All right. Good stuff. Most High in Christ. All right. So who wants to give it a shot on the phonetics of your ha, your ya, your da, your ba, and your ra? Let's see. Sister I said why y'all the bar? Okay. Okay, you are absolutely close. You are in the building. All right, give Officer Yagadan a hand. Wayadabar. Wayadabar. All right. So again, Sister Aya, you were there. You had Wayadabara. But again, that ha at the end, you don't pronounce the ha. It's kind of a soft trail off, if you will. Wayadabar. Oh, matter of fact, there's not even a ha at the end of this. Salaki. So so yes, the letters at the end don't typically get pronounced all the way through. They kind of trail off with the consonant sound. So if it's a ra at the end, like here is wayadabar. If it's a ha, you kind of trail off at the ha. If there was a pa at the end, you don't typically say pa. You would end it with the original consonant sound. All right. She said that's what my mind was hearing. No sweat. No sweat. All right. So, Wayadabar. That's absolutely right. Obviously, y'all can know. All right. So now, let's see what we want to do. What do we want to do? Let's see. So you told me that last week. No sweat. No sweat. It takes repetition. Takes repetition. All right. So let me see. We're gonna go to the meaning, right? We're gonna go back here. I don't want to give y'all too much. We're gonna try to walk through this scripture. Um. Okay. Okay. This is not gonna go as smooth as I want it to be. No sweat. Hold please. What I want to do. I want to help y'all out. All right. I'm gonna give y'all the root word. I was hoping I was gonna be able to use the blue letter, but it's not gonna go as smooth. All right. So I'm gonna give y'all the root word, and then I want y'all to break down what we're seeing with the whole word. Okay. The root word is dabar. The root word is dabar, which means to speak. So if you have wa ya dabar, tell me what that means. Now go back to what we went over earlier in the class with prefixes. All right. Because if the root word is dabar and you got wa ya, that means you have two prefixes in the root word. So wa has a meaning and ya has a meaning. So the word is to speak. You got wa ya dabar. That is a phrase. Go back and hopefully y'all took notes. If you go back in your notes, your prefixes. There's a term for wa, there's a term for ya, and then your root word is dabar, which means to speak. So what is this phrase saying? All right. Find my mouse. Give the sister a hand. And he speaks and he spoke. We're going to get into it. You are absolutely right. All right. Now the scriptures in English are not going to say that specifically, but you'll get what it means as we continue. All right. But get our sister a hand. She is absolutely right. All right. Let me see. Um, all right. So now we're gonna go to the next word. All right. So that next word, that's a ya, a ha, a wa, and a ha. What? How was y'all about what are you talking? Wash hands, wash hands, wash hands. I'm not sure what you're saying. Oh, it was supposed to be okay. No sweat. That's supposed to be applause. I was so confused. Ooh, wash hands. Wait a minute. All right. So you got a ya, a ha, a wa, and a ha. All right. I think you're right. You got this extra letter out here that I'm assuming was an accident. I'm assuming I'm assuming that extra A was an accident. Yahweh. Yahweh. No, sir. All right. So that is absolutely right. Give her a hand. Y'all there said Shalaki on my screen, his hands clapping and watching. No, sir. No, sir. All right, correct. Okay, so that's Yahweh. Correct. All right. So that's Yahweh. We know that's the most high, right? So when you go back to the scripture in English, and the Lord spake. So why why y'all the bar Yahweh is and the Lord spake. All right. Does everybody get that? Does that make sense? Give me a one in the chat if that makes sense. Give me a one in the chat if that makes sense. All right. This is your con. One. All right. No sweat. The water. The water. All right. All right. All right. All right. We're gonna keep going. Let's see. How do I get into that? I don't think I got into that. Okay, I gotta check. All right, my man said she translate she tired. All right, no sweat. We're gonna do that too. I'm tired. All right, we got it. We're gonna get it. Let's first get the word for tired. All right, let's get the word for tired. That's all right though. You know what? Give a sister a hand. She is trying. She is putting forth the effort. This is not always easy. Um, but it does take repetition, and the longer we go through these things, the more we do them, the more we get it. It's going to become second nature, and the next thing the goal for everybody in Virginia is to eventually get on Officer Urash Ahmad's level. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. But good night. That is a great goal to have. So. But it's going to take repetition. So just stay in it. Get a sister hand. She's doing an awesome job. All right. So like y'all bear with me. Oh, you know what? Oh, no. All right. That's not the word I want. I'm gonna get it different. Now bear with me. Bear with me. We gonna get it. This is exactly what the class was for. Nah, that's not what we want. Hmm. Okay. Look at that. All right. All right. There it is. All right, here we go. I'll change that after. Okay. All right. We got Kwa, a Wa, and a Taza. Give it to me phonetically. Baba Kusha. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. All right. So I already said I as I am, and that is absolutely right. That's absolutely right. So with this being the root word, I want you to give me the root word, and then give me um, the root, or give me the whole phrase with the prefix. So you got a Kwa, a Wa, and a Taza. All right, sister said Quataza. Uh, that's close. That's close. Quawataza. Quawataza. All right. But that's just tired. That's weary. That's weary. All right. So how would you say I am tired? All right. Obviously, I said, how did you find tired? I don't know. I couldn't locate anywhere I found heavy laden. Blah, blah, blah. Right. The word tired, I think, only appears maybe one time, and that doesn't really it mean. I think when it meant tired something, but I used weary. Weary. And in this particular scripture, matter of fact. Okay, yeah, no sweat. No sweat. Yeah, weary. Um, Salaki. Oh, okay, you got Kwawa Taza'a. Okay, so look back in your notes. You're close, but the I is in the wrong place. Think about where the I or I am. Where is it supposed to go? Where is it supposed to go? Obviously, Yakadar always be there, boy. He listen. Obviously, Yakadar teach a brotherhood class for a reason. He know what brotherhood is. He know what sisterhood is, baby. He looking out for his sister right now. That's what's up. Most High in Christ. There you go. Get his sister a hand. Aqua Watazan. Exactly. Exactly. Get his sister a hand. Obviously, y'all can sit down and then autocorrect me. Most High in Christ. Absolutely. Absolutely. Damn right. Damn right. All right. So let me see. Let me stop sharing real quick. How much time we got? We're right here. All right. Let me go back. Some of these. Oh, that was all the way back up there. All right. Actually, given the time, we're bumping up right against 9 o'clock. So we're gonna call it right there. We're gonna call it right there. What we're gonna be trying to do, as I teach the Lashawan Qadash class, and Officer and Yagada and I both teach it, we're gonna be alternating as much as we can. I'm gonna try to continue with Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. It's something that we need, like I said, for the our holy days, the convocation days, the Sabbath service, and we want to make sure we are familiar with that, familiar with the scriptures and how to read them, what they mean, how to recognize again the root words, the conjugation, all that good stuff. So we will continue to work through that until we, get that down packed, and then we'll just move on to something else. That's, this is what it is. This is a process. Um, it's repetition. It's practicing. It's putting forth the effort. Again, give Sister Aya a hand. Give Officer Yagada a hand. Appreciate y'all both for participating. Again, I feel like we had some more folks in the class. Make sure y'all are checking in and participating. This is a very, very important class, as all the classes are. Waking up to who you are and knowing that you are an Israelite is more um, than just not eating shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster and not celebrating holidays. It's more than that. I mean, that's a big part of it, right? That's a big step. But it takes effort. It takes putting your brick in, learning, participating, and making sure that you are fully participating and engulfed in the culture that the Most High gave us. All right, that all matters even more so again as we continue to get closer and closer and closer. We are in the end time. This third world war is coming. It's absolutely coming. If you, I mean, shit, Salaki, just selfishly get in the ISUPK so you can get some protection. Wake everybody you know up. Let them know so you can get some protection, so they can get some protection. Put your brick in, get to work, become part of this effort, part of this work. So we, not just for you, but even for the folks that claim to love and care about, because when it goes, when Christ returns, it's too late. Then it's absolutely too late. You don't want to wait that long. You want to get in now, get locked in now, learn as much as you can. All right. Let me see. Sister Rice. So like Officer Yagada says, Officer Yagada, right? Please don't miss a class because I'm struggling over here. Absolutely. Let me see. But you're doing an awesome job. You're doing an awesome job, sis. Like having a library card versus checking out some books. Absolutely. Absolutely. You can have a library card and it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. If you have a library card, you can go down to the library, get your card, walk away, and never set another foot in there. You never read a book. You never do nothing. It gains you nothing at that point. It does take effort to go back, check out a book, and actually read it. All right, and that's what these classes are about. Participating. Once you have the understanding and you wake up to who you are, right, to the truth of the Bible, then you have to participate in that. Again, I think it was my second camp as a trooper. One of the officers, Officer Kazak out of DC, I heard him saying it just stuck with me because it's so different from what the church teaches. The church tells you, the Christian church says you can come as you are, and that's fine. But guess what? And here, you can come as you are, you just can't stay that way. You have to change because everything that you have learned up until this point is absolutely wrong and atrocious and sinful, and it's the opposite of what the Most High wants. So you have to learn that those are not the things you can do anymore. The things you used to you used to do, you can't. Things that you didn't do, you need to start participating in, like these classes, like the high holy days, all of those things. All right. So that's why it's important. Make sure we stay locked in. Make sure we stay focused. Make sure we stay participating, so that over a long enough timeline, we all become, again, as fluid as Officer Yaraj Jamal in the Lashawan Qadash. All right. Uh, No sweat, a underbar and the water for that, sis. Obviously, Yagda. Damn right. And obviously, Yagda said you're doing great. All right. Damn right. All right. And with that, let me get the security announcements. All right. We had ISUPK started out at 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. All right. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves in the world. Again, we have to unlearn so much and relearn so much. That's why it's important to stay in these classes. All right, because we do have to shed ourselves of the world. Once you understand who you are, if you're not in this body, you're not done shedding yourself of the world. You may feel like you are, you're not. You need to come into the ISUPK so you can fully shed yourself of the world and fully participate in this work to bring, bring back the kingdom and all. When Christ comes, put in your work to wake up our brothers and sisters. All right. Slack, if new brother or sister needs transportation, the camp leader would arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which that brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the camp leader to marry. All right. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find it in Numbers, the 18th chapter, verse 21. You can also find it in Malachi, 3rd chapter, verses 8 through 10. It means tenth. In the Hebrew, it's ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you. All right. You can give it to the Treasury Department. You can also go to isupk.com. You can pay directly there. All right. Priest fund. It's a free will offering for the priest. It's not mandatory. It's whatever amount you would like. Upcoming Holy Convocation days, we have December 7th is our Feast of Dedications, or Hanukkah. That runs through the December 15th. And then the next one will be Purim after that. And then it is Passover, the 55th annual Passover. If you have not started to get prepared for Passover, you're a little late. Not too late, but a little late. You need to jump on it immediately. All right. Passover, if you, again, if you're in the school, then you absolutely know. But again, if you are watching these classes and you are not in the school, understand Passover is mandatory. It is mandatory. And again, we are in Virginia, and this year Passover is in Durham, North Carolina. It is too close. There's virtually no excuse not to miss it. Okay. So definitely start getting yourself prepared for that. All right. And lastly, if any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, he needs to start wearing all black. That's black boots, pants, headband, and war scarf. You need to make sure you get in contact with the school in your area. If you are in Virginia, get in contact with Officer Yaraj Ahmad and Captain Natazak Nashab and let them know that that's something that you're interested in. All right. And they will get you straight from there. All right. And with that, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Shabbat to the sisters. Shalom, Shema, Alathan, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right. Hey, I underbar the water, brother. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate the participation. Appreciate everybody. And I know, again, this can be somewhat challenging. We're learning new languages, but it's so important for who we are and to understand our culture. All right. So with that, we will see you all next Lashawan Qadash class. Shalom.